Jurassic World Rebirth is the 7th installment in the Jurassic World franchise, and it is directed by Gareth Edwards. This is a sort of a soft reboot after the failed project that was Jurassic World Dominion. I think that was one of the biggest box office failures we've seen in a really long time, and after watching that movie for the first time, I can really see why. That thing really has nothing to do with what makes the Jurassic Park franchise so memorable, and I think it gets lost in a sea of legacy sequel stench and a overly complicated and messy plotline that really served no purpose. And that's not to say that the Jurassic World franchise as a whole is that great either. In my opinion, there are really 2, maybe 3 of them worth revisiting every once in a while. 2 out of 7 really isn't that great of a percentage. And with this film, it seemed like the people behind these movies really wanted to put the franchise back on course. It wanted to realign everything and bring the franchise back into the depths of what made that first movie so special. Or at the very least, get to the point where it could be as good, if not a little bit better, than the first Jurassic World movie. The trailers hinted at something a little bit darker, a little bit more violent, and a little bit more adventurous than what we've gotten used to in the past couple of years with these movies. In fact, you had a lot of the buzz surrounding this film. In fact, you had several reports coming out that this was the most book-accurate Jurassic World installment to date. Along with Gareth Edwards being a very strong director, especially in the confines of a franchise, I was pretty excited for this film. Not overly excited. I didn't think this was going to be exactly what I wanted from it, but I think it would have been a step in the right direction. I couldn't have been more wrong. This movie is just the same old crap they've been serving us for the past 10 to 15 years, and at this point, it feels like we are never going to see another great Jurassic World movie ever again. This film is just completely devoid of anything. It is the hardest movie to talk about because legitimately I cannot remember anything that happens in this film. There are a bunch of A-list actors in Jurassic World Rebirth. We have Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, I think someone else that I'm forgetting, but they all don't have a presence because they're playing the most cookie cutter of cookie cutter characters. We spend so much time with these people that are so uninteresting and so cardboard cutout-y that I really was checking out almost every 5 minutes after somebody opened their mouth. And that's something that I could have dealt with. That is something that I could have stomached, that I could have put to the side and not really pay too much attention to if everything else around it was spectacular. Gareth Edwards is known for making movies with more thin characterization and a little, less emphasis on stuff like plot development and all that stuff, but also having great world building and really immersing you in the film that he's making. With Rebirth, I couldn't tell you who directed it. There was no visual flair. There was no sense of dread. The island had no personality. The whole movie just felt empty and like a Universal ride in the worst way possible. Everything was held up by a thin level of cliche and callbacks. I just felt really frustrated by the end of this. I don't have too much else to say other than that because of how bland and how unexceptional this film is. Instead of putting the franchise back on course to its roots, delving into themes of anti-corporatism, dark sci-fi elements, delving into more of an adult tone, they just kind of wave a shiny toy in front of the audience and say, here, look, it's a dinosaur, you'll watch this, right? And I guess it's going to work with some people because I have already read some reviews and talked to some people who've liked this film, but for me personally, I don't want to feel duped by some of my favorite franchises, IPs, or whatever. I just want them to give the fans what they've been clamoring for years. I don't understand how you can make something as cool as a dinosaur horror movie be this lame and sanitized. The Jurassic Park franchise has really become an example of what happens when you let a studio completely take control of a popular IP. While Michael Crichton's novel and Steven Spielberg's original film should be heralded as the classics that they are, everything else surrounding it is polluted by this idea that if you make the most simplistic and boring movie possible but just throw dinosaurs in it, it's going to basically print money. And that was the case for a little while, but I can sense that people are growing tired. They want something more out of this franchise, something we haven't seen in a while, something of a new, fresh take, and Rebirth is the exact opposite of that. Instead of taking a couple steps forward, it takes several steps back and really is leaving me not ever wanting another Jurassic World movie for quite a long time. So with that all being said, I'm going to give Jurassic World Rebirth a light 2 out of 5. This is certainly the most disappointing thing I've seen all year. I was really hoping for something better. But, you know, on to the next one, I guess. Please let me know what you thought of Jurassic World Rebirth in the comments down below. Consider leaving a like and subscribing if you're enjoying your content here. We are so close to 200 subscribers, and I am going to be releasing a few things for that, actually. I'm going to be doing a live stream of my whole Blu-ray collection. My friendship video essay has really grown into a behemoth that I need to be working on with a friend because of how much editing it is and how much I put into that. So that will be coming out shortly, but I'm not 100% sure when. And then obviously we have Superman coming out, we have Eddington, all of these big new releases in July, so get excited. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much.